Jeremiah Krakowski. Listen, you need to stop worrying what everybody thinks about you. You need to stop worrying about, are they going to like me? Are they going to judge me? Are they going to misinterpret me? Are they going to take what I said and assume the worst about it? And instead, just flow. Just be you. Stop worrying. Stop living in that state of stress and fear about what other people think about you. And just be you. Be authentically you. A lot of times we're working so hard on maintaining our image and managing everything. And this is something that I've been studying, the difference between leadership and management. And when we're building a business, growing our life, building a family, relationships, there's a difference between managing and leading. And the idea is managing is maintaining what you already have so that it stays that way. You need to do both. Both are important. And so manage the good stuff, manage yourself, manage the stuff that's working, set up systems in place. But then you also need to lead yourself. A lot of times people think, oh, if I could only just lead other people, if I could manipulate them and get them to do what I want and think the way that I want. And that's the root of worrying about what everybody thinks about you, worrying about those areas of things. Instead, worry about leading yourself, not leading other people. Worry about what you think about you. And not worry. I'm not really talking about worry here, because I don't think worry or anxiety or stress helps anybody, but rather stop worrying about what everybody thinks about you. Stop worrying about what you think about you and start thinking good thoughts. Start thinking grateful thoughts. Start declaring that I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I'm not afraid to be myself. I'm not afraid to speak a word to somebody. I'm not afraid to build that business, run that Facebook ad, start that course, start that blog, start that website, build that thing. I'm not afraid to take a pen and paper, okay, and write down the dreams that I have because of the responsibility that it takes me and what I'm going to have to do when I write that dream down. I'm not afraid of what I have to do. I'm not afraid of mapping it out and actually coming to grips and taking ownership over my life and my choices and what I'm thinking. You see what I'm saying? And so because of that, because we're trying to avoid leading our life in that way and taking ownership over it, we worry about what everybody else thinks, and then we try to blame other people for why we are where we are right now instead of just flowing, just being ourselves. And this is something that I'm still working on, y'all. This is something that I'm growing in. You know, I used to have this fear that if I talked about things like this, worrying about what everybody else thinks, I'm gonna be super real and vulnerable right now. I had this fear that if I talked about what everybody else thinks and I wasn't 100% actively doing it in my life, that I couldn't talk about it because I didn't have a leg to stand on. That if I was worrying about what people thought about me in my life, that I couldn't encourage another person because I wasn't perfect. And so I was holding myself to this standard of impossibility where I had to be perfect before I could help anybody else. And that fear, I was worried about how people like you would perceive me. And the biggest thing is I just need to be myself and say, listen, I don't have it all together. I'm working on it. And stop worrying about what other people think. Stop stopping myself from doing the very thing that I'm great at, that I was made to do, helping other people build their vision, helping empower them to go to the next level. And so I want to encourage you with this. This isn't about me. I don't want to make this about me. I just want to share that as a testimony for you. A testimony to inspire you with this. As soon as we stop thinking so bad about ourselves and we start declaring the truth and replacing the lies with truth and walking in joy and peace, things change. And there's two people that I love that carry this message. Brene Brown is one of them. Look up Brene Brown. The other one is Steve Backlund. Have hope for the future and walk out your future. Enjoy and declare the future. Declare today, listen, I'm going to make my list of goals. I'm going to execute on item number 1 on that list of goals. I'm going to do something that I'm scared of today. I'm going to go out and step out. I'm going to go have that conversation that I've been afraid of. I'm going to boldly walk in what I was created for and not let what other people think about me, what they told me, dictate me, and do what I know is right. And, sometimes we're afraid of what other people might think about us. Sometimes we're afraid that we'll lose our effectiveness if we talk about God in a video. Sometimes we're worried that people aren't going to listen to us because we don't have it all together. Sometimes we're worried that if we be the person that we were made to be, that other people won't understand it and they'll judge us. Sometimes we're worried that if we walk out exactly who we were designed to be and talk to the people that are in our sphere of influence and lead other people with confidence, even when we don't have it all together, that they'll judge us, that things will happen that shouldn't happen. It's about this. Respect yourself enough to work on yourself before you start working on other people. That's the first thing, okay? You see, I see a lot of people, they don't work on themselves first, and then they try to work on other people, and it doesn't work. At the same time, we have this fear that is gripping us. And Antoinette, right now, I just pray for you, healing in your body, in Jesus' name, on this feed. Somebody left a comment, so... I know that it's possible. When you work on yourself, you start to walk in authority, and sometimes the next level of that authority is helping another person. And you might not have it all together, but you can help raise somebody else up. And by doing that, by raising somebody else up in a way of truth, we can then grow to the next level. But yet we have this fear about, if I don't have it all perfect, I can't do it. And we hold ourselves back. Listen, I'm not talking about taking broken records and then helping people with what doesn't work. Or I've seen this where people will take their own pain and try to help people through the pain because they find people that have the same pain and they're all having a pain club together of complaining. That's not what I'm talking about either. I'm talking about empowering yourself so that you can empower others, putting your oxygen mask on first so that you can help another person put their oxygen mask off first. Shooting for the stars and realizing if I hit the moon, I can build a base on the moon and then reach the stars later. And I want to encourage you, stop worrying what everybody else thinks about you. Start being exactly who you are. Not somebody else. Sometimes you're different with strangers than somebody that you've known for a million years. You got to shore the two of those up. Not a million years, but you know what I mean. You got to shore the two of those up. Sometimes you might not, how you are there in private. If you were like that in public, maybe that wouldn't work out. You know what I mean? So maybe bring the two together in a convergence. That way you're the same in both areas. And that's also something I've been working on. I had a lot of people say, you're different in these two areas. And I was like, you know what? They're right. I need to be the same in all areas. Be bold in that and be gracious like I am in others and bring the two of those together and operate in kindness, love, and joy with everybody that I talk to, no matter what the relationship is. So I want to encourage you today. Stop worrying what everybody else thinks. Be yourself. Grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.